an Ohio pastor that was known for, well, preaching the importance of honoring your wife, respecting your wife, praising her, has now been arrested.
An Ohio pastor, known for urging husbands to celebrate and cherish their wives, has been arrested on charges of misconduct, accused of mistreating both his wife and daughter, as detailed in police reports. Joshua Lough faced charges in Franklin County Municipal Court, Ohio, for 2 misdemeanor counts of misconduct and battery. Court officials reported that he was granted a personal recognizance bond and released earlier this week. In a Mother's Day sermon at Grace Bible Church located in Canal, Winchester, Lough opened the hour-long sermon by saying, "How a man treats his wife reflects what his mother has done in his life." Lough lists a number of justifications for marriage, such as holiness, procreation, companionship, and collaboration. Lough added, "Marriage is humbling. God uses marriage to humble us." A complaint filed on December 8th claims that Lough struck his wife's head against a hardwood floor. She reportedly had a large knot behind her right ear and marks on her arms from the incident. According to an arrest affidavit, Lough denied hitting his wife when questioned by police, instead alleging that she had some problems and that their altercation involved mutual fighting and grabbing. Court records also accuse Lough of slapping his daughter. Lough delivered sermons at Grace Bible Church, with the most recent one available on the church's website dated June 30th, focusing on spiritual gifts. According to his LinkedIn profile, he completed a Master of Divinity at Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary in May 2003 and studied at Moody Bible Institute from August 1995 to May 1999. On Friday afternoon, a message was left on the church's answering machine, but it was not answered. On Fridays, the church closes at noon. Joe Bennett is currently listed on the church's website as both the pastor and the interim teaching elder. According to a Franklin County Municipal Court employee, Lough is free on a personal recognizance bond and is expected to appear in court again on January 7, 2025. Meanwhile, another pastor serving in a parish under the Archdiocese of Cincinnati has stepped down from his role amid allegations of attempting to conceal evidence. Parishioners raised concerns after he admitted to trying to destroy materials linked to another priest, which reportedly included shady images. In a letter dated July 30th, Archbishop Dennis M. Schnur of Cincinnati informed the St. Susanna Parish community in Mason, Ohio, of his decision to accept the resignation of Father Barry Steckschulte. To ensure continuity, the Archbishop appointed Father Jeff Kemper, a retired priest of the Archdiocese, as the parish's interim administrator. The announcement by Archbishop Schnur came after a letter from Parents for Action, a self-described collective of parishioners and parents of St. Susanna, with the tagline, "Protecting Our Children," to Father Steckschulte on July 27th, requesting that the priest resign due to concerns about his capacity to oversee the parish, which runs a K-8 school, and to maintain safe environment procedures. In a letter dated July 12th, Father Steckschulte expressed regret to the parishioners of Holy Rosary Parish in St. Mary's, Ohio, for a controversial decision he made in October 2012 during his tenure as pastor. He had instructed Deacon Martin Brown to dispose of a computer hard drive that contained shady material. The device had been previously used by his predecessor, Father Anthony Kutcher. Father Steckschulte brought the images to the attention of law enforcement in September 2018, 6 years after their discovery. His report came just a month after the release of the Pennsylvania grand jury findings, which exposed extensive misconduct by clergy and its concealment across 6 dioceses. During his disclosure, Father Steckschulte admitted to having destroyed potential evidence. Deacon Brown later informed police that Father Steck Schulte's decision to file the report was driven by a sense of remorse over how he had handled the situation when the images first came to light. In a subsequent message to parishioners posted on St. Susanna's website, Father Steck Schulte said it had become evident to him, after much prayer and discernment, that he should resign for the good of our parish and our school, to be reassigned elsewhere in the Archdiocese. We acknowledge and appreciate the sincere regret you have expressed regarding the events of 2012, and we want to assure you that we forgive you, wrote the Parents for Action group in its letter. It read, "However, this matter transcends forgiveness. The decision you made to destroy evidence instead of reporting it to the proper authorities has severely compromised the confidence many of us have in your leadership." In a message shared July 18th on St. Susanna's Facebook page, the Archdiocese said that Father Steck Schulte, having discovered inappropriate material on the device at Holy Rosary, was disgusted with the findings, and to ensure no one else in the parish would be exposed, his reaction in the moment was to order the hard drive destroyed. The Archdiocese added, as stated in Father Steck Schulte's apology letter, he realized this was a terrible mistake, which he regrets. In addition, the Archdiocese noted it had reported this matter to law enforcement from the very beginning. In a Facebook post, Holy Rosary Parish stated it informed the Archdiocese 19 days after uncovering the hard drive in 2012. The Archdiocese, in turn, claimed it reached out to the Auglaize County Prosecutor's Office the very next day, with no criminal charges resulting. However, the prosecutor's office has refuted ever receiving such a report from the Archdiocese that year. In a July 31st email to OSV News, the Archdiocese of Cincinnati said, Dr. Anthony Kutcher resigned from active priestly ministry in April of 2021, following his resignation as pastor of Pastoral Region Tuatin, St. Peter, Our Lady of the Rosary, Holy Cross, and St. Adalbert parishes. In February of 2021, he does not have an assignment and will not be returning to priestly ministry. In a July 31st call with OSV News, Father Kutcher said he was not a member of the clergy, adding, "You cannot address me as Father. I have no ministry at all." He stated that he is still a practicing Catholic, but that he had not yet asked to be removed from the clerical state. A report from the St. Mary's Police Department, dated September 2018, reveals that both Deacon Brown and Father Steck Schulte engaged with law enforcement regarding the images. During their discussions, Deacon Brown disclosed that Father Kutcher had used Holy Rosary Parish computers to download shady male content. According to Father Steck Schulte, he discovered a file folder on the computer that contained pictures of shirtless preteen boys in what the report referred to as provocative poses. Deacon Brown, who had taken out the hard drive and burned it with a blowtorch, told Detective Lucas Turpin that the pictures he saw seemed to show adults. The priest admitted to law enforcement that destroying the hard drive had been a mistake. He also revealed that he had personally spoken with Father Kutcher at the time, who had justified the images by claiming, as noted in the police report, that he was going through a rough period, but had since addressed his struggles through counseling. In 2018, Father Kutcher, then pastor of St. Peter Church in Huber Heights, Ohio, reiterated his statement to authorities, insisting that he had only accessed adult content from a legitimate website. Detective Turpin also noted in his report that Father Kutcher stated that he thought this was all behind us and asked what good this could possibly do. The case was ultimately closed by the police after forensic analysis of additional devices from Holy Rosary, and St. Peter revealed insufficient evidence to support claims of misconduct material. Chief Jacob Sutton of the St. Mary's Police Department shared with OSV News that the conflicting testimonies from Deacon Brown and Father Steck Schulte regarding whether the images involved adults or the mistreatment highlighted the critical role physical evidence plays in such investigations. Obviously, we don't know what the investigation would have been had we had that hard drive, because we had conflicting stories on what was on that computer or not, said Sutton. He added, "Testimonial evidence is not the most trustworthy evidence out there. Physical evidence, especially in police work, is the evidence that typically does not lie. And unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to examine that to see what the truth was, if the images were illegal or not, so that we could make a determination if there was a crime that was committed or not." Sutton emphasized that he did not think Father Steck-Schulte or Deacon Brown had intentionally lied, but that because there was some question about the pictures, a law enforcement agency needs to be contacted because of their technology and experience in identifying child material and its perpetrators. The Archdiocese of Cincinnati told OSV News that in 2019 it had retained an independent third-party firm to conduct an investigation into Father Kutcher's alleged possession of adult content after the conclusion of the St. Mary's Police Department investigation. While that investigation is complete, the Archdiocese told OSV News it is not disclosing the results. When OSV News asked if Deacon Brown had been disciplined for throwing away the hard drive, the Archdiocese responded that it was a personnel matter and that details will not be disclosed. In 2021, Father Kutcher was reported to the Archdiocese of Cincinnati for sending an excessive number of text messages to a 14-year-old male student at St. Peter's School, spanning an entire year. As a result, he was removed from ministry. In an in-depth investigative report by Paula Christian of WCPO, an ABC affiliate in Cincinnati, multiple messages were revealed. These messages contained remarks about the teenager's appearance, questions regarding his love life, expressions of longing for the youth, and even a request for a photo of him. One such message, in response to the boy saying his family had takeout from BJ's, said, "Oh, the restaurant, I always think of something else when someone says BJ's. I won't tell you the thing, but the second word is job. Think below the belt." The prosecutor's office in Montgomery County, Ohio, looked into the incident but did not file charges against Father Kutcher, according to WCPO. But some of the texts did seem inappropriate, according to people at the prosecutor's office, and the priest's plan to meet with the kid in his office every day was very disturbing on several levels, to say the least. The day following Father Kutcher's suspension from St. Peter, the school's principal, Ron Albino, was discovered dead in what appeared to be a suicide. Records from the county prosecutor suggested that Albino might have alerted Father Kutcher about a formal complaint lodged with the Archdiocese. However, authorities found no grounds to pursue a criminal investigation, and Albino's death was officially classified as suicide. In a 90-minute interview with WCPO on June 7th, Father Kutcher revealed that he had been treated twice at St. Luke Institute in Maryland, an establishment offering both psychological and spiritual care for clergy and religious figures. The National Federation of Priests Council's board president, Father Kutcher, acknowledged in the interview that his goal of returning to the priesthood and ministry was now going to be an impossibility. In another incident, a lady is suing a church in North Olmsted, where she was mistreated by the former youth pastor about 10 years ago. The woman, who is currently in her 20s, claims that the Columbia Road Baptist Church did not protect her when Brian Mitchell repeatedly made shady comments to her and began acting as a father figure in her life, following the death of her own father. In the end, Mitchell mistreated her several times during 2 months when she was 16 years old. The case, which was submitted to the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court on Tuesday, alleges that the church breached its duty of care to her, caused her emotional anguish, and engaged in careless employment practices. It also contains accusations of misconduct and battery made against Mitchell. Mitchell pleaded guilty to mistreating her in 2016 and was given a 10-year prison sentence, of which 8 years have been served. When he was arrested, he was 31 years old. Since coming out to disclose the misconduct in 2015, the woman has been having difficulties, according to attorney Andy Goldwasser. Victims are not identified by Cleveland.com or the Plain Dealer. Only recently, after being ignored by the church, did she feel strong enough to file suit, he said. After her father passed away, the woman sought Mitchell's spiritual counsel and joined the church as a small child in 2008. According to the allegation, Mitchell started giving the child more attention at church functions, including lock-ins. Mitchell began sending her increasingly frequent texts. For a while, the texting ceased after someone alerted church officials to it. According to the complaint, he soon resumed and started talking to her in a shady manner. He started griping to her about his marriage as well. According to the lawsuit, Mitchell forced her into a close connection by taking advantage of her fragility and his position. According to court documents, Mitchell would visit the girl's home and mistreat her when her mother was at work. "I did not give him permission," the girl wrote in a letter read aloud during Mitchell's 2016 sentencing hearing. "I clearly said, 'No, I didn't want to. I felt like he tricked me.'" According to court documents, Mitchell kept sending the girl emails using a fictitious name even after he was detained. Church officials informed the youngster she could not return to the church until she apologized to Mitchell's wife, according to the child's mother, who is also a plaintiff in the case, who testified at the sentencing hearing. Mitchell stated at his sentencing that he thought the two were in love and that the connection was consensual. The 10-year term was handed out by Judge Peter J. Corrigan, who described that way of thinking as delusional. Mitchell has repeatedly requested early release from prison, most recently in February. In their requests, Mitchell's lawyers emphasized his exemplary behavior as a prisoner, supporting their claims with letters from former inmates and one inmate's father, who credited Mitchell with guiding them to find religion during their time behind bars. Additionally, the lawyers highlighted the deteriorating health of Mitchell's grandmother and godfather. In 2021, the attorney's initial request on his behalf included a statement from Mitchell, in which he referred to the remarks made during his sentencing hearing about a relationship between the two as foolish thoughts. He wrote, "I was an adult, and as an adult should have realized there is no one to blame for the wrong that was done but me. What happened cannot be called love or even a relationship. It can only be called what it was, and that is a series of wrong, hurtful, manipulative decisions." Prosecutors pointed out the irony in Mitchell's request, which cited his role providing spiritual guidance to inmates as a reason for his release. This, they argued, was particularly fitting given that he had exploited his religious authority to commit the very crimes that led to his imprisonment. The defendant should serve each and every day of his 10-year sentence, Assistant Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Kristen Carcutt wrote, in a motion filed in response to Mitchell's latest request. The most recent motion, submitted on March 20th, was dismissed by Corrigan, who had already rejected 2 attempts to reduce his prison term. Meanwhile, the Catholic Diocese of Youngstown has revealed disturbing revelations about Father Michael Swires, who previously served as the pastor of St. Patrick Church in Hubbard. A recent investigation uncovered a pattern of significant boundary violations with minors, as well as instances of power misuse and manipulation, as reported by WFMJ. The accusations against Swires date back to his time as an associate pastor at St. Rose Parish in Girard during the late 1980s and early 1990s. After a report was made to the diocese in March 2024, he was placed on administrative leave in June while the investigation began. Upon concluding the investigation, the diocese submitted its findings to an independent review board. After careful deliberation, the board issued a unanimous decision, advising Bishop David Bonner that Swears was deemed unsuitable for ministry and should not resume his pastoral responsibilities. Although the exact nature of the boundary violations and misuses remains undisclosed, Attorney Victor Garassi pointed out that the incidents took place both within and outside church grounds. The absence of further details has sparked a desire for clarity among community members. Bishop Bonner responded to the results by asking the public to pray for healing and for those impacted. He emphasized the importance of maintaining faith during this challenging time, stating, "We believe that He is the way, the truth, and life." Garassi recognized the challenging nature of the choices made during this process. He conveyed the diocese's deep compassion for the victims, highlighting that the bishop keeps them in his prayers every day. He also urged those impacted to seek assistance through the Office of Safe Environment for support. The diocese is still committed to healing and member safety as the community deals with these disclosures. Following the recent disclosures of misconduct within the Catholic Church, numerous survivors are now faced with the challenge of processing their issues and navigating the legal options at their disposal. So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.